But again, you have your first concussion, you've diagnosed it, you know that's what it is. It's a relative rest. The first 24, 48 hours should be, hey, we're gonna pull back, we're gonna make sure we don't do anything that is gonna increase our chances of getting hit again. We're just gonna kind of hang out and rest. After that 24 to 48 hours is when we should start to implement physical activity. Physical activity meaning, hey, I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna bike, I'm gonna cycle, I'm gonna do some light things just to get the blood moving, just to do things like that. A couple different studies have shown those that implement this light physical activity at 24 hours after did better than those that implemented it at 48 hours after, who did better than implemented those at 72 hours, and so on. So kind of that earlier implementation of light physical activity is actually a really good prognostic factor for after you have a concussion. Kind of goes along with supplements too. There's a lot of dodgy information out there with supplements and what's helpful, what's not helpful. Pretty much everything is a big maybe right now. Some people say, oh, make sure you take your omega-3s or your vitamin D or whatever. Omega-3 has been shown to potentially help after concussion. Creatine been shown to potentially help after concussion. Vitamin D potentially. Magnesium, this is kind of an interesting one. Magnesium prophylactically, so taking magnesium if you are a contact athlete, may help to reduce the symptoms that you feel after. So if you're not taking a multivitamin with that in there, you can at least maybe supplement. Just something easy, very, very low side effects from that, but may help to attenuate symptoms after a concussion. Now we're going to talk about concussion prevention a little bit. Unfortunately, no way to truly prevent a concussion, but we can minimize the risk of it. The most important piece of it all is to be aware of what's going on, right? If you can't block, if you can't stop, if you can't engage your neck strong enough or fast enough to stop the acceleration of your head, you're going to have a concussion, unfortunately, if there's sufficient enough force. It takes about 2 to 60 milliseconds from the time of impact for the concussion to actually be sustained. It takes, they hook people up to EEGs and different things that measure brainwave activity, neck muscular activity. It takes 50 milliseconds just to recognize that you're being hit, and then another 150 milliseconds for the neck muscles to get back to just 50% of their max contraction. So that concussion has pretty much happened before you recognize it, which is why being aware, hey, I actually see this coming in, I can block, I can track my neck muscles is much more important than a lot of things. And that's regardless of neck strength. We'll talk about neck strength a little bit